On January 31, 2025, tragedy struck a residential neighborhood in northeast Philadelphia. A Learjet 55 medical transport plane crashed shortly after takeoff. The plane was scheduled to fly from northeast Philadelphia Airport to Mexico City. The incident occurred at approximately 1:15 p.m. local time. The location was near the intersection of Cottman Avenue and Roosevelt Boulevard. The impact of the crash was devastating. It shook homes and businesses for blocks around. Witnesses described a loud boom and a fireball erupting into the sky. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, working tirelessly to extinguish the flames and search for survivors. The crash left a scene of wreckage and debris scattered across the neighborhood. The Learjet 55 was operated by MedJets, a medical transport company. The company, also known as Jet Rescue, specializes in air ambulance services. This crash was the second fatal incident for MedJets in just 15 months, raising questions about the company's safety record. The crash claimed the lives of 7 people. 6 individuals were on board the plane at the time of the accident. The passengers included a patient, the patient's mother, and 4 crew members. All 6 were Mexican nationals. Tragically, 1 person on the ground was also killed in the crash. In addition to the fatalities, the crash resulted in 19 injuries. The severity of the injuries varied. Some individuals sustained minor injuries, while others required hospitalization. Emergency medical services transported the injured to local hospitals for treatment. The community mourned the loss of life and offered support to those affected by the tragedy. The impact on the families of the victims was immeasurable. They lost loved ones in a sudden and horrific accident. The Mexican government offered its condolences and assistance to the families. Immediately following the crash, authorities launched an investigation to determine the cause. The Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) and the National Transportation Safety Board (NTSB) took the lead in the investigation. These agencies are responsible for investigating aviation accidents in the United States. Investigators will examine the wreckage of the plane, analyze flight data, and interview witnesses. They will also review the plane's maintenance records and the pilot's history. The investigation will be thorough and comprehensive. The goal is to identify the factors that contributed to the crash and prevent similar accidents from happening in the future. However, investigations of this nature are complex and time-consuming. It may take months or even years to determine the definitive cause of the crash. The NTSB will release a preliminary report within a few weeks of the accident. This report will provide an initial assessment of the incident. However, the final report, which will contain the NTSB's findings and recommendations, may not be available for several months. The Philadelphia medical jet crash was a tragic event that resulted in loss of life, injuries, and damage to the community. This incident, occurring just 2 days after a devastating mid-air collision over Washington, D.C., once again highlighted the importance of aviation safety. The involvement of MedJets, a company with a previous fatal accident in its recent history, further raised concerns. While speculation about the cause of the Philadelphia crash would be premature, it is crucial to understand the factors that contributed to this tragedy. The investigation by the FAA and NTSB will hopefully provide answers and recommendations to prevent future tragedies. As the investigation continues, the thoughts and prayers of the nation are with the victims and their families during this difficult time.